The advice I'm about to give you, bro, is the only advice that you ever will need. I'm giving you 25 years of suffering, of hard times, of me just trying to figure it out. I'm going to wrap it all up in this video. I say this to you because I mean it. You and I, we are very similar in so many ways. Whatever problems you're going through, whether it's to do with the problems that you've got going on within your family, just you trying to navigate life, you being insecure, suffering from your self-image, your confidence, just not knowing what you want to do. I get all of that. But I say this and I want you to look me directly in the eye so you understand that my life growing up was fucked. It was so unique. We'll put it that way. My father looked at me, my brothers, and my mum and left. I'm actually glad that he left. And not a lot of people will say that, but my father wasn't a good man as it was. Like, seriously, he was just an alcoholic, just an abusive father. But that never made life easier. We were left in the ghetto, public housing. We were the family given food donations, given second-hand clothes. 3 boys and a single mum. And my mum did everything she could to provide for us. But there's only so much a woman can do to teach boys to become men. And when you're growing up poor, bro, and there's so many other boys in your community kind of growing up, it's easy for your life to take the path that my life took, my brothers took, and everything that kind of transpires from that. I became a drug addict. 16 years old is when I was introduced to drugs. Even probably a bit younger. But that was the kickstart for me to just become someone I never thought I would. But the life that was put out in front of me. Hanging with the wrong people, doing the wrong things, ultimately letting drugs defeat me, depending on it. Even before this, my life was set up in a way that I never thought I could ever really win. I was so insecure. I lacked so much. I had no confidence. Because you got to remember, I was this fat, overweight Indian kid, buckled teeth, growing up in this bad, poor environment with so many family problems. I was so fragile. I was so emotional, hated myself. And I was 10, 12 years old feeling this way. Like I said just before, I wouldn't trade any of my hard times and who I used to be for anything now. Because it's made me who I am. And it's allowed me to cultivate these lessons for you, life advice, that really will change you. I've been through it, bro. So I get it, and I want you to really take on board what I have to say, because I just want to be that big bro, that father that I needed growing up to you. The first one, and I named this number 1 for a reason, because this one holds deep value to me. This is number 1. Nobody is perfect. And there's a few things that I want to put underneath it, but I'll just speak it to you. Everyone's got shit going on. And I want you to think about this, because I know exactly how it feels to have this mindset of, whoa, everything is happening to me. Why me? Why me? Why did my life have to be this way? Why do I have to feel this way? Everything, right? But what I want you to understand is the person that you walk past down on the street, or the people that you see at the shops, or the people that you see in your school or university or work, wherever, they've all got so much problems going on too. I've never met anyone that isn't going through anything. And I'll tell you this. Someone that you think has got it all together is suffering probably even worse than you. I've met so many people, and when you meet them for the first time, you think, whoa, this person's got it all. But I'm someone that a lot of people open up to. And then I'll speak to them and say, oh, their brother committed suicide. Or their mum's been living with this disease. Or this happened, this happened, this happened. They're struggling financially. They had to file for bankruptcy. This is a very, very toxic approach I'm about to tell you, but it's something that really allowed me to be at peace and actually be okay with the cards I was dealt. If everyone's got something going on, you are able to benefit from other people's pain, and not in like this crazy nihilistic way, but in a way that it thinks, okay, well, what I've got going on, yeah, it sucks, But what's happening to them, what they're going through, what they've been through is just equally as shit. And this allows you to be at peace. Now, it's not okay what's going on, but it's not just happening to you. And this will allow you to move with a more focused approach and less of a victim mindset when you just know every single person that you meet isn't perfect. Remember that, because I lived my whole life thinking and putting everyone on pedestals. Oh, this person's got more money than me. This person comes from a 2-story house. This person's got two parents. That's how I thought, and it ruined me, and it made me feel so bad. Nobody's perfect. Everyone's got problems. That's the first thing. The second thing. This is really important too. Nothing really matters except a few things. And I want you to really think about this, right? There are a few things that truly matter. I want you to kind of think about that before I write them on the board. Think about what truly matters. What is it? Because it's not those people's opinions. It's not you trying something and failing at it. It's not this, and that's not your crappy job. It's not because you might have made a bad investment. It's not this, whatever. What truly matters in your life is your health. And you take this for granted, right, bro? But remember, your health, your family, and kind of put it in this way, your wealth. But wealth isn't always money. Even though one of the things is money underneath wealth, I want you to think about all of these things. Without your health, you're nothing. And I don't just mean your physical health. I mean your mental health, your physical, everything. Everything, you never realize it until it's gone, that your health is the number one thing. I can tell you this because I've suffered from health issues. I know people that have suffered from health issues younger than me. I get it. When you don't even take priority of, oh yeah, I'm healthy, I'm fit, but there's a young man out there that just lost his leg. There's a young man out there that can't hear. There's a young man out there that can't see. There are young men out there with no arms, no legs. Your health is really, really important. Second thing is your family. I can say this because my life was that. I've come from a family where there's been a lot of problems. And I've never really kind of laid it out in any of my videos, the problems, maybe in the future, maybe in the book that I'm writing. But I get it when you think that your family are your worst enemy. Your family aren't like people that you just want to be associated with. But I can tell you this, especially as you get older, right? Regardless of what's ever happened in your life, your family are the only people that will ever truly be there for you. Even if you think your parents, even if you think your siblings, even if you think your grandparents are all against you, all hate you, and they're messing up your life, right? Because that's how I felt. They're always going to be the only people that have your back. And now you might come from a good family, bro. And things actually, you know this already. But I never did. Your family mean everything, and your family are actually an intrinsic reason why you should always be trying to level yourself up, conquer and win. The last thing in this section is your wealth. I don't care what anyone has to say, and I'll say this directly to your face. Wealth comes in many different things, right? Because you can be wealthy in your mindset, wealthy in your habits, wealthy in your lifestyle, wealthy in your bank balance. Wealth comes in all these forms, right? But you should always focus on your wealth. Wealth, family, health. Every single other thing in this world doesn't really matter. Stop stressing over this. Stop stressing because that person might say something. Stop stressing because of your crappy job or this and that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And what I want you to realize is, and there's a way that I used to say it, is, are you going to remember it in a week's time, in a month's time? Whatever's stressing you out right now, are you going to remember it? If not, don't even worry about it. Worry about these things only because everything else doesn't matter. The third thing This is one of my favorite. This changed my life. Accountability plus responsibility. Right? That just looks like scribble. I get it. And I want you to understand it. I get it. And I get exactly where you're at. Life has dealt you some hard cards. Life isn't the way that you want it to be. And for majority of you boys, including myself, the things that we had to go through, things that we had to kind of experience, or just our lives weren't set up correctly, wasn't our fault. But I want you to understand, you've got to take that responsibility and accountability regardless if it was your fault or not. Because it's the only way that you will ever be able to set your life up on a trajectory of success. The more you don't take accountability for everything in your life, doesn't matter if it's your fault, you'll always be walking with this mindset, and it's a weak, fragile mindset of, oh, well, I can't do this because of this. I can't do this because they said this. I can't do this because my family had to grow up this way. Whatever it is, I don't care. Take it all on board. And what you do, right, once you've taken accountability, you've taken responsibility, what do? You use this as motivation, right? Because without taking responsibility and accountability and using it as motivation, what happens? It breaks you, it weakens you. And you can see this in so many people, and this is how I lived my life for a long time, is I played the blame game. I can't be anything because I grew up poor. I can't be anything because I used to abuse drugs. I can't change my life. I can't do this, and that. And I know that that's how you might be feeling. Take everything. I don't care what it is. Take it all. Use it as motivation and which will allow you to change your whole life on an upwards trajectory. Because there is no greater sense of motivation, of wanting to change your life, when you start to take responsibility and accountability for all the shit things going wrong. You use it as fuel, and it's something that will always stay with you and propel you past every single person that allows their problems to defeat them. The fourth thing. Number 4. This is a hard one. Goals over girls. Now I get this, and if you're young watching this video, girls are your main priority. And I get that. And I can't sit here and say, oh, don't focus on girls, because I focused on girls for a while, a long time in my life. I did. What I want you to understand though, there are a few things that we truly have as young men that are our biggest assets. It's our time, it's our energy, and it's the little money that we have. And what I want you to understand, and what keeps so many of us so behind, and we don't see it, but it keeps us behind and actually sends us on this downward spiral. If we spend our biggest assets, right, these things here, and we focus them all on girls, what happens is, and this happened for me, is, yeah, you might get lucky. Maybe you get into a relationship, maybe you sleep around for a bit, but the main things in your life get put to the back seat. And you don't realize, especially as a young man, how fast life goes. Especially when you're partying and you're being a degenerate and you're just having fun. Life goes quick. But then you wake up one day and you're 22, or you're 25, or you're 30, or you're 35, and you realize you spent all this time, and the most important things that you have as a young man to getting girls, that your goals are nearly non-existent. And you wake up and you think, oh, where's my life gone? I want you to think about this. If you use your time, energy, and the little money, the resources that you do have, and level your whole life up, you buy courses, you invest in yourself, you focus on your goals, you get on your purpose, you start working on your mission. Boom, you focus on all your goals. Girls here will be a byproduct. And this is how I'm starting to see my life right now. I've been in relationships. I've had one night stands. I've been with girls. And I can tell you, as a young man solely focused on his mission, I'm so dedicated. I'm leveling myself up in every single area. I have no interest in girls. And I've now got so much more attention from girls, especially as I've started to focus more on goals. That's funny, right? Because when I was 19, when I was 18 and my whole focus was getting girls, yeah, I got with girls. They were ugly, they were just degenerate girls, they were girls that I would never look at into now as the young man that I am. And I got them. It's cool. But the girls that I could get now, the girls that have come in my life in the past, especially while I've been focused on my goals, I'd trade, focus on your goals, bro. I'm telling you, let girls be a byproduct. Level yourself up in every single realm and watch. You'll have to put less effort, less resources, and you'll get high quality girls. The fourth thing. Sorry, this is the last thing. And this one holds a lot of value to me. Number 5. Timing is different for every one of us. Different for all of us. Now, this is really important. And this is probably one of the most helpful pieces of advice that you'll ever kind of really listen to. We feel behind at 16 years old. We feel behind at 20 years old, at 25, at 30, at 35, at 40, at 50 years old. But what I want you to understand, our timing and our lives are all different. Now, we all kind of go through the same life kind of thing, right? We go to school, we go to uni, or we go straight into the workforce or whatever. Like, our timings are kind of the same, but our life of when we get on self-improvement, when we know that there's more for our lives, it's different. Because sometimes we just aren't wired, sometimes we haven't gone through enough suffering, sometimes we just get so caught up in living the degenerate life or just living in a drift or just being this robot. But what I want you to understand, this is really cool. I don't know how old you are as you're watching this video, bro, but the clock resets. I always say that your life truly does start at the age of like 20, 21. I'm 25 now, so in the scheme of how I look at things, I'm 4 years old, right? But I want you to realize this. Your life starts when you start aligning your life to leveling yourself up. Doesn't matter if you're 35, if you're 40, if you're 18, that's when you become 0 again. So you're not behind. You're not losing. You're exactly at the right time right now. When was the best time, and I'll end the video like this. When was the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the next best time to plant a tree? Right fucking now. So everyone's timing is different. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're exactly where you need to be. And this is how I felt at the age of 22. I'm 25 now. But I know so many of you boys feel so behind, but you're not. You're exactly where you need to be. Now your life starts. These 5 life lessons, bro, I promise you. If you understand, if you instill them into your own life, into your mindset, this will help you navigate life. These are the things that helped me so much. Love you, bro.